Alright guys, today we are going to look at one of the top rumours in the news at the minute, and that is Paulo Dybala to Manchester United potentially. So the report is Manchester United are looking to challenge Arsenal for the signing of Paulo Dybala, who is a free agent after his Juventus contract expired, while Napoli are also interested in the Argentina striker aged 28. So that's been reported by La Repubblica. So yeah, I think this is a bit of a strange one because for me it completely defeats what Man United have been trying to do this summer, like get rid of all the dead wood that's in their team and try and start from scratch, which I don't feel this is the sort of signing you want. A player who has had his best years already. Like we've seen in the past 3 or 4 years, a clear decline in Paulo Dybala's level of performances, both on the European stage and in domestic football. In fact, he's not even a player you hear about very often anymore. Like I remember in about 2016 to 2018, he had a few really good seasons at Juventus when he was around the age of like 23 or 24. But since then, it just seems to have gone downhill for him. So I don't really know what's happened. I don't follow Italian football closely enough to know what's going on within Juventus's team. But yeah, for Man United and Arsenal in particular as well, with what Arsenal have showed they're trying to do over the past couple of years, I really couldn't see Arsenal signing him. Firstly, because it doesn't fit what they're trying to do, and secondly, the amount of wages he'll want on a free transfer. He'll be asking for close to £400,000 a week, I'd imagine, and for a player of what he's demonstrated that he can perform at over the past few years, he's definitely not worth it. But the bit about Napoli being interested in him, that sort of makes a little bit of sense to me because I think Dries Mertens is on his way out of the club. He's getting on now. So Napoli potentially signing him, I could see that happening because that makes a bit more sense because it's a bit like for like. Both not out and out strikers, they're sort of like false number nines who score a lot of goals. But yeah, for United and Arsenal, I really don't see the point in this one, to be honest. I don't know how reliable the report actually even is because it's Italian publication, La Repubblica, although actually it's the Daily Star who've, spread it in England at least. And yeah, it probably does say something as well that Juventus have made no attempt really, from what I've seen, to actually give him a new contract. I think they're happy enough to see him go. And do United really need someone down the centre? If they were to sign Dybala, is that an indication that they think Ronaldo could be on his way out? Because who've they got up front now at United? Because they've lost a few players. If we classify Juan Mata as a forward, Cavani's gone as well. Lingard can sort of play on the right wing, I guess. So they've lost a few. They've still got Rashford, Sancho, Elanga, Ronaldo. Who else have they got up front? Martial's back from his loan at Sevilla, but I think they're pretty keen to get him gone. He's showed a real drop off over the past 2 years and had a shocking loan spell at Sevilla. So they still have got a few forward players. They could do with one more maybe, but Dybala's not the player you want. I don't think. I think they'd be better off going for. Well, they've been linked to the Ajax winger Anthony. I think he's probably a better option from what I've seen of him than Paulo Dybala. And for Arsenal, they'd be much better off. Even though this is a free transfer, which I guess is one thing. But I think that's all cancelled out by the amount of wages that Dybala would want. So for Arsenal, they up front, they've currently got, well, Lacazette's gone. They've got Nketiah, and they're just about to announce Gabriel Jesus. So for me, that's them in the central position of their forward line. That's them sorted, really, because you got Jesus and then Nketiah as backup, or if like even Jesus could drift out wide like he has done for City over the past 18 months or so. Um, they've also got Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli. So they've got options up front. I don't think Arsenal need another forward. I think they need to focus more on. They need to focus more on maybe another midfielder. They've got Xhaka and Partey, who are both good players. Xhaka, for me, gets far too much stick than he actually deserves. And back up to that, I think they've got El Neni, and have they got anyone else? I can't even think if they've got, I suppose Odegaard could sort of play a deeper position as well. And maybe another defender, like maybe a left back, because Tierney's can't go 5 games without getting injured, and Tavares last season I thought showed that he's defensively he's a bit of a headache for Arsenal, to be honest. Yeah, so that's what I think they need to prioritise. So for Arsenal, for me, this makes 0 sense. United, again, it makes close to 0 sense. It would only make sense to me if they were pretty sure Ronaldo wanted to leave, obviously, because of the lack of Champions League football at Old Trafford next season. And Napoli, yeah, it sort of makes sense with Mertens going out the door, and also Insigne's leaving as well. So they are going to need a forward player or two, Napoli. And I don't think Dybala would be expecting to be paid as big wages from Napoli as he would from like a top side in England, purely just because of the amount of money that's in the English top flight these days. So yeah, and I'm not even sure how much he's playing for Argentina at the moment. From whenever I hear about Argentina, these days it's always Messi and Lautaro Martinez up front. So I don't know how much he's playing for Argentina these days, which says something really, when Argentina over the past few years have sort of lost a lot of their best players, or best attacking players anyway, through just age, because Di Maria is now in his mid-30s, same with Higuain, same with, well, Tevez is pretty much very close to retirement. I think he's still in Argentina, still going at the age of like 39 or something. As well as that, Aguero's unfortunately had to retire. So they've lost a lot of good attacking players, and if Dybala still can't get into their starting 11, that really does say something for me. But yeah, I if I'm giving this a rating out of 10 for United, it's going to have to be like a 2, because I just don't think it's what they need at all. I think if Ronaldo is to go, I think they're better off just going for a young striker who's got his best years ahead of him, which Dybala, as we've already stated, hasn't, if we're being honest. So yeah, I think they'd be better off looking at, going for what all the big teams in England do these days, and just go for someone who's like 23 or 24, has shown signs of, becoming a very good player, and signing them instead. That's what I think United should do instead of this transfer. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.